Hi Aries, and welcome to your January 2019 reading. My name is Camille and you are watching Millennial Tarot. Before I get into the reading, I wanted to say two announcements. The first one is that I'm still running my $5 special up until the end of this year. So as long as you get your question into my email, which I will leave below, by 11:59 on December 31st, and I'd be happy to lock in that deal for you and answer questions for you if this reading does or especially does not resonate and you need something more attuned to you. The second announcement is that I have opened or launched my website. On that website, you can find another avenue through which to get readings as well as some astrological writings and blogs. But more importantly, the thing that I'm proud of the most is that I have opened up an astrology apparel line. Right now, it's just t-shirts, and so this is an example. This is Aquarius. So you'll have the sign down here, and then what you'll have on top is a design of the constellation superimposed onto a natal chart wheel with some celestial designs in the background. Super minimal, super cute, super soft. This is the tri-blend white. They also come in black and in crop tops and will soon be coming in many other varieties. But just now for the launch, I'm doing the t-shirts and I think they're cute. So if you like them and want to check that out, they are just $20. Collaborated on the design. It came to me one day and I said, you know what, Camille, I'm going to see this through, and this is the actual tangible product. So I'm proud of that, proud of myself, but I'm proud of you for checking in to your January 2019 reading to see what the energies are going to be like for you at the top of the year. I'm going to go within, I'm going to shuffle and see what is coming up for Aries January 2019. Do it one more time. Okay. A lot of Aries are in this place of doing some emotional or personal inventory. Who stays, who goes. And a lot of you might, a lot of people might have gone, leaving your life. However that looks like for you. And then you're kind of trapped in this place. Ooh, a lot of cards fell out. Hold on. You're trapped in this place where you're kind of holding on for dear life to what you do have. So especially if this was a job or a financial situation or a person or just your general attitude of, a lot of people have come and gone either through your own volition, like get out of my life, or just they've disappeared. They'd love it. They've had to go. And because they were causing you stress and they were causing you negative energy. And so you're kind of in this place where you're like, hey, if they're leaving, then you should probably leave. You should leave. I'll get myself out of that situation. You could be in this place of really clearing out. Now, that is typically where we find ourselves when the end of the year approaches. It's kind of like we need to do this inventory of our lives, of what happened over the last year and where we're going to go in the new year and what you want to bring and not bring with you. So we open up this reading with the energies of the Two of Swords. We move into Major Arcana. This is the Judgment card presently. The outcome position was the Four of Pentacles, which I then clarified by the King of Pentacles. Your bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords, which is a beautiful evolution from this Two of Swords woman. And then I can keep going. 10 of Cups, Magician, Capricorn season, 9 of Pentacles. Beautiful. I'm not going to go throughout the entire deck, but I find it pertinent that the energies that are almost making themselves, or making us aware of themselves, are right under the bottom of the deck. So that tells a telling story. So let's bring ourselves in to the beginning. This is the Two of Wands. Now, I always say this is a recent past or a past that makes sense for you. Whenever we're encountering a January reading, it could be just the past year, 2018. Now, the Two of Swords shows a woman who is really stressed over having to make a choice. And, you know, there's two swords, so it's usually this feeling of this or that. Now, it could either be this job, this person, or you're choosing between two energetic things. Am I going to be this person or that type of person? Am I going to leave this behind or keep this? So it could be an energetic choice as well. And the Two of Swords kind of shows us in this place where we kind of know what choice we want to make, but we're making it a little bit more difficult for ourselves by blindfolding ourselves. But easily we can put down the swords, take off the blindfold, step free, and know which direction we'd want to walk in. And for a lot of you, this is an emotional choice because we do have the moon in this card, but also the choices that we make and the things that we think come from this emotional wellspring anyway. And I'm getting that this choice is hard for you to make because you have a lot of emotions tied to it. Now this could be the entire 2018, it could be just where you found yourself in November or December, or the energies that are going to ask you to work on. The energies that January is going to ask you to work on. So the past energies that January might be asking you to say, hey, we need to deal with this Two of Swords situation. And the Two of Swords, and like all swords cards, I like to say, are the ways that we torture ourselves with our thoughts and our projections. And like I said, she can easily put down her swords. So whatever this choice is, you can easily not easily, I won't say it's easily, it's easier said than done. But with this awareness, at least, that your thoughts are the things that are putting you through all this tumult, the chaos and stress and anxiety, swords represent anxiety, that you could be in this position where you're giving yourself more stress than you need. And if you take the blindfold off, what does that look like in our physical lives? Well, what does this choice look like on paper? What does this choice look like on paper? Or how does this choice feel? Or how does this choice feel? The way that we blindfold ourselves is the way that we pretend that we don't know how our choices are going to have consequences. And the Two of Swords is a nice little place to be when you don't want to make a choice and therefore not have any consequence. But this is life. Whatever choice you make, even a non-choice, is going to have consequences. So I really want you to come into January having made this decision. And some of you may have, or it may still be lingering. You may need to cut one more thread that will separate you from whatever this other sword is. But for a lot of you, the choice has been made, the thing has been done, or the choice was made for you, or the choice is going to have to be made as we begin the year. Now, for some of you, this Judgment card represents skeletons coming up from the closet that need final review so that they can finally get out of our lives. Now, these people are obviously can be representative people that we want out of our lives. The choice could have been about, do I want to kick this person out of my life? The choice may have been, do I want to walk away from this person myself? And for some of you, the Judgment card came as a swift kick in the behind. It was like you're kind of stalling here, making this decision. You kind of know what it is that you want to do. I always say to all of my clients who come to me with questions that you know before I even shuffle or turn on the camera what the answer is, or at least what you want it to be. So the Two of Swords indication of what you know it is, what you want it to be, but you're just chattering in your head. You know, guide yourself from this knowing this year. Really put down the Two of Swords and don't make yourself have to go through eons and eons and eons of analysis paralysis before you make a choice. And the Justice card may have made the choice for you. The Justice card was like, okay, listen, you're taking too long with this choice. I'm gonna make all these circumstances come up. I'm gonna make that trigger come up. I'm gonna make that person come back. And you're really gonna have to make a decision here whether you want them to stay or go. Now, these could be people, situations, behaviors. You know, the Justice card also represents this 20, double X. 10s in the tarot deck are always the end of something, so you could have been having to make a choice to end something, or just generally making a choice to begin something, and there are no beginnings without ending or dying a little bit to who we were. And this does have a little bit of themes of death, because they are coming out of the casket. You know, things that we thought were long dead and buried coming up, maybe paralyzing us. Well, do we keep them buried, or do we finally let them go? Things that are buried in our psyche are still present and weighted with us. And like I said, this Justice card could have been something leaving from your life. It could have been the person left, or the opportunity left, or, you know, the job left, or the relationship left. And then it's kind of your decision what you're going to make of that. And I'm getting that these two play into each other very nicely. That whoever left, whoever came, whatever opportunity apparated and then disappeared, or was apparent and then disappeared, ties into this Judgment card of, are you going to let this stay? Or are you going to make room for this to actually come in? No, you're not? Okay, then it's going to leave. Or are you going to actually make the tough decision to really kill this part of yourself, to end that relationship, to end that pattern? Okay, cool. Well, then good things will come in. So it's really a lot of Aries, or might be still struggling in this place of what is worthy of being in your life, what is worthy of having your attention. And the end of the year is giving that to you, especially as we always look back and review about what we need to do. This person, that situation, that trauma, that trigger, it's all coming up. And the choice you have to make is whether it stays, whether it goes. If it's something that hurts you, if it's something that is impeding on your growth, hopefully you make the decision to let it go, although that can be hard. Or for some people, this decision could be easy. And I know that needs to go. I know that's hurting me, but it's still hard. So that's generally the context with which we are entering January. Really honor yourself with your choices. January is going to ask you, especially with this big, heavy, looming Major Arcana Judgment card, what do you want to stay with you on this life journey, or what are you going to allow to continue dragging you down until you yourself are dead? Not literally, but just you yourself are in this place of unempowered activity. You don't want to be there. Make the choice now. It seems hard, but you'll feel so much better. And we have this the outcome here was actually the Four of Pentacles, dropping things left and right. It's all right. The Four of Pentacles. And so for a lot of Aries, it's like, oh, I did have to let go, or that person did leave. So therefore, I'm going to close myself up. I'm going to keep my Four of Pentacles very close to the chest. I'm not letting anyone in. I'm not letting anything out. But you don't have to do that, Aries. You don't have to be in this place where just because that person left, that you need to suffocate something or someone else close to you so that they don't leave either. These people and the things that are meant for you will be with you without effort. And if they're not meant for you, they will flow away. So when you accept the fact that the things that you have and the things that you don't have are in perfect accordance with where you should be and where you are, that is when you can kind of ease up on this energy. And let's go ahead and juxtapose what came up to clarify. Now, these are two completely different types of men. This one's kind of a Scrooge, not spending, not investing. When you don't invest, you cannot grow. And this is a person who is completely rich, completely content. He has one pentacle. He's all right. He has four pentacles holding on for dear life. Now, this is the energy shift that you have to make this year, and that January is going to help you start making. Are you going to be in this place where you're holding on for dear life onto these four pentacles, measly pentacles, whether they're good or bad, they're just four? Or are you going to open yourself up, which means vulnerability? Are you going to open yourself up to receiving more, even if that means rearranging what you have or losing what you have right now? And it doesn't have to be this big cataclysmic loss. This is not like, oh, I need to be in poverty in order to gain success. Life does not have to be a struggle. But this is asking you, what are the things, routines, the people, the behaviors in your life that you're holding so close to yourself, because without them, it's like, who am I? Well, who are you? The king. Once you let go of this measly Scrooge, kind of stubborn and small, maybe even petty energy of what is mine, it has to stay mine, 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 and you open yourself up to let the pentacles fall where they may, what you end up doing is evolving into this king. And the king, of course, is someone who has tremendous amounts of creature comforts, tremendous amount of richness, but more so this inner abundance of gravitas, of leadership, of people looking up to him, of having a calm and serene face towards life's dramas. Now, these are Pentacles cards. These are more solid. These are more sturdy. These are going to be things that after the chaos and the drama of this choice or choices being made for you, you then can return to this place of peaceful serenity. You're trying to approach that here, but you're doing it in the wrong ways. You're trying to, or maybe if I just make myself into a ball and I hold these things close to me, they'll remain more solid. But like I said, once you close yourself up, you're not also opening yourself up. And when you close yourself off and you stop yourself at the Four of Pentacles, and what is available to you is the King of Pentacles, it ends up being your loss. So although this may have ripped you open or made you feel vulnerable or made you feel unsteady and uneasy, and this is the only way that you can then steady yourself, I want you to gradually this month start to let go, start to open up, start to realize if things are meant to be in your life, if people, situations are meant to be in your life, they will stay. You don't have to clutch onto them. You don't have to choke them. And you don't want to hold on to things that aren't meant for you. And when you do that, when you work through that alchemy of give and receive and of letting go, and this doesn't have to be like, I'm going to let go of everything and change completely. No, it's a slow thing. Pentacles are slow processes. But once you entertain that, what you're holding on to too tightly, be it a persona, a way things have to go, literally cash or people, When you let go of needing those things and holding on to them so tightly, what you do is you open yourself up to really get the world, to get the entire world here. A lot of more abundance, a lot more peace, a lot more serenity, and not only this outward abundance, but this inward knowingness of being well and feeling well. And we talked about this bottom of the deck, which was the Queen of Swords, no longer in this petty place of, ooh, can I make a decision? This is a lot of like, I'm evolving from these lower parts of me straight up into these more regal, higher vibrating parts of me. We got a king and a queen here, and we have unnamed nobodies right here, okay? So this is really moving from a place where you allow yourself, through a little bit of discomfort, to really grow into who you are becoming. The Queen of Swords has no problem making decisions, no problem cutting people off, no problem trusting herself, no doubt, nothing. So really evolving from these places where you constantly deride or doubt or are holding on to things, petty things, or being too materialistic, or just completely suffocating yourself with all these smaller human tendencies, and allowing yourself to rise up into these more elevated expressions of giving and generosity and decision making and knowing when things need to go, knowing when things need to stay. I find it so telling how this person is holding on to all four of their pentacles. God, I'm going to hold on to all four. And this King of Pentacles got one. He's barely holding on to it. That's how you kind of need to be. You need to be open, release, let the abundance come in, and let the trash and the negativity flow out. Because when you hold on too tightly, you do run the risk of keeping things that hurt you a little bit too closely to the chest. So this has been my reading for you, Aries. I hope that you have enjoyed it. This is talking about an evolution from our small-mindedness up into the queen and kings that we are meant to be. Getting abundance through letting things go, being at ease with our choices and our decisions by learning how to make them, and becoming more stronger in our authority and our empowerment as human beings. And we're driving the ship here, man. We can't be doing this and doing a whole bunch of this and doing a bunch of this when we have our life in the balance. Let these people steer your ship. Activate these people within yourselves, these stronger archetypes of yourself, more elevated energies in yourself. So I hope this has resonated for you. Of course, if it has not, you can reach out to me, or it has, for a personal reading down below. I will leave all the information below. But until then, until I see you again in February, Aries, I hope you have a fabulous new year. Be well, take care, have fun, and elevate.